Hi everybody and welcome to Saturday morning here in Thailand, and today I'm coming to you from the Chip Lele Cafe and still sort of just getting over this sort of hay fever scene, ending up with a every morning, but yeah, getting much better and feeling back to normal. I'll just show you where I am today. That's what I'm looking at as I just turn the camera around on my iPad. And we've got the outdoor seating, my motorbike, and we've got the Andaman Sea just there in the distance. And as you can see, not a lot to talk about as you look out there. But there is actually a lot to talk about regarding it's a very busy day. And we'll get on to our main topic in just a moment. The main topic is that we're looking for hidden gems. So many of us know the Thailand that we've visited and loved over the past, 20, 30 years. But I think it's time to look for some new places, because a lot of the other places we've visited and loved are just getting way too busy. And I think a lot of us would like to find that old Thailand, that Thailand that we sort of came to find. As it happens, I've found my spot, which is away from the very busy Phuket these days. But this is not for everybody, and everybody's going to have a different experience wherever they go. So all these recommendations that we might go through today, they might suit some people, but they won't suit others. But I think that's part of the fun of exploration and adventure. Certainly a lot of these places will be worth your time and visiting. There's Captain in the background, and we've got some other guests. Now, it's also an election day here in Thailand. That does put a few things in play, which I'll just go through very briefly now as I go to the story. So one thing is that, and this is reported in the Bangkok Post, there's a 24-hour booze ban for the local elections. And this started last night at 6 o'clock. A 24-hour ban on all alcoholic beverages will be enforced from 6 in 76 provinces. Well, those 76 provinces are everywhere except Bangkok. So if you're in Bangkok today, they don't have elections at the moment. So in other provinces, there is an alcohol ban, including Chanthaburi and Phuket. Now, this includes, as it says, popular tourist destinations like Phuket, Chiang Mai, as Thailand prepares for local elections. The Election Commission has reminded shops in the provinces holding elections, which will be in effect from 6 p.m. last night to 6 p.m. tonight. Violators could face fines of up to 10,000 baht and or a 6-month jail sentence. So there you are. We have these election bans from time to time, usually involving Buddhist holidays. There's 5 primary Buddhist holidays in Thailand each year, and there's usually a 24-hour alcohol ban on those. So yes, for some reason they don't believe that Thais can drink and vote, or not at the same time. Now, I don't believe it is compulsory to vote. I think this story, if I go further, suggests that they're expecting around about an 80% voter turnout, which is pretty good. Now, in Australia, or where I come from originally, we have a compulsory voting system there. So you have to vote in federal, state and local elections. Here in Thailand, it seems, at least locally, it's not compulsory, but they get 80% or so of people turning out. In the lead up to these elections, these local elections are every 4 years, we have to put up with these flimsy signs with cheap vinyl coverings which display all these politicians. I found one the other day. It looked like a, what's his name? Not Steve Jobs. I'll remember it in a moment. But it was rather funny. I was looking at the sign saying, that's Asian Bill Gates. That's who it was. It was an Asian Bill Gates. It looked exactly like him, but sort of Asian version. He was standing for local council here. So getting rid of all those flimsy signs will be great and certainly beautify the area. It's just flooded with these cheap, flimsy signs that if we had any wind at all, they'd just be blown over. And the other thing is they set up these vans or these trucks driving up and down the roads with speakers and people waving flags and I think handing out a few envelopes. And we won't have to put up with those up and down the roads, even past my place. And I can't vote. But they stopped right in front of my place and blasting into the garden with their megaphones exactly how good they were and that we should vote for them. I went out and waved to them, assuring them that I can't vote, but they persisted. So, hi everybody, we are talking about hidden gems today, and the theme being that we keep going to the same places. I mean, I would say there would be some of you that come to Thailand maybe once a year, and perhaps we all go to the same place. There are some people who just arrived at Jib Fair Lele and foreigners, and of course they took their shoes off at the door, but being a cafe they don't have to take their shoes off. But remember, if you go into a house in Thailand, it is polite and probably expected that you remove your shoes. Well, I don't really suppose I have to remind people about that. It's pretty well known. It's pretty much around Asia, isn't it? So where was I? Yes, this hidden gems. So I'm sort of after some ideas from you. We'll go to the Google machine and see what they're talking about regarding hidden gems. They've got their list that they've compiled, but I think it's more interesting to come from you. So a lot of these places I've not heard about, and I think we'll probably have to jump onto the Google machine to find out where some of these places are. Scott D has come up with some suggestions. Somebody talking about Thai vets, which I responded to. Not really anything to do with today's program. Scott D, in Bangkok, the Royal Barge Museum is a hidden gem. Very few tourists, but it's difficult to locate. One must walk through narrow pathways to locate it. I've been to, it's called locally the Barge Garage. And this is where they've got the beautiful, ornate and very special royal barges, which are used seldom, but they were used recently for some auspicious event, which eludes me at the moment. But the barges are ornate. Real gold is used to decorate them, and they have hundreds of oarsmen, maybe not hundreds. And the worst thing that they could hear any morning is that the king wants to go water skiing. All right, so moving on. That is a bit of humour, not intended to be insulting in any way. So the Barge Garage, I would say, is definitely worth a visit if you're in Bangkok. But you've got to cross over onto the West Bank, which is less popular and less populated, got less things to do over there. There are a few really amazing things to do over there, apart from the huge Siam something or other shopping centre, which is amazing in itself if you're into shopping centres. They've also got one of this huge, I've done a video about it, this huge cylindrical pink temple with dragons circling it. It's about a 30-minute drive out of Bangkok, and really worth visiting, and you can make your way all the way to the top if you feel like walking, and the stairs actually go follow the dragon. They're inside the body of the dragon as it winds its way outside the building. Huge pink temple, the name which eludes me as well. So what else have we got? My favourite day trip, and this is from I Am Not Drunk, ! Is to Bang Pa In Palace. Bang Pa In Palace, which I suppose is in Bang Pa In. Some of these places you probably need to put a little bit more information, like what's the name of the attraction and also where it is And sometimes if you're naming a district, you might even have to throw in a province as well, just so we can get a bit of an idea. But okay, thank you for that. Scott D back again. The Red Cross Snake Farm. You were doing well until you mentioned the word snake. Close proximity to Lumpini Park, which is in sort of central Bangkok. Watching the snake education show is top-notch and always fun to watch. They extract venom to produce anti-venom shots. Good. I'll watch that from a distance. I don't really do snakes. Karu 5344. Hey Tim, looking forward to my first visit to Thailand. I've been looking at places to go while I'm here, so this video comes at a perfect time. Well, sure. The well-trodden track, the tourist magnets, some might say the tourist ghettos, have become, I think, a bit of a cliche. Pattaya, parts of Phuket, like, Patong Beach. Even Hua Hin recently, I think, has sort of started becoming a bit same, and losing a bit of its first-time allure. Chiang Mai used to be a great... I first visited Thailand back in 2000, and Chiang Mai at that time was sort of a little bit off the beaten track, just starting to sort of become something you would read on the Lonely Planets as a place you need to go. And these days it's facing 4 months of very poor air quality, and I think it's becoming just as well known for that, unfortunately, as it is for its beauty, the temples and the landscape. I spent a bit of a wet season up there, and it was just amazing. It was so beautiful. So, central Bangkok, of course, Sukhumvit Road is a place where a lot of people go, the shopping centres, a lot of good restaurants. The BTS sort of goes down that road and became a bit of a tourist haunt. There are plenty of really amazing places in Bangkok once you get off that well-beaten track down the BTS line. But of course, people go down that particular line because, well, that's where the public transport is taking you. And that's why it was put there in the first place. Good evening from, all right, Guzzy Jack. I'm not sure where you are, but it's obviously the evening. Nong Nuch says, here we are. Nong Nuch Garden near Jomtien is my gem recommendation. Nong Nuch Garden. So, this is a hidden gem or a nice little quiet spot in amongst a very busy area. Jomtien and Pattaya, of course, being one of those sort of tourist magnets that's become maybe a little bit oversaturated with tourists and a bit overpopular. Then again, there are some people that like that. They like going to places where there are lots of tourists because they like the interaction and, I don't know, people just sort of seem to enjoy it. I get that too. But I think sometimes when we think about Thailand, we're thinking about really getting off the beaten track and trying to enjoy a little bit of peace and serenity and the odd temple visit. Arnold Ziffel says, good morning from the not-so-hidden Hua Hin. Be interested to hear from people who are in Hua Hin, who may have been there for a time. There will be a bit of traffic going past today, people being dropped off to do their votes and things. So we'll just keep an eye on what's happening. A guy setting up a coffee stall there. So very enterprising. So if you are living in Hua Hin, what's it like these days? I've dropped through there and stayed for 2 or 3 days at a time, maybe 3 or 4 times over the last 15 years or so. And I've noted that it's sort of become very urban, really. That sort of those 2 streets which run along the front road. No, it's not really. Well, yeah, it is basically, those 2 streets. One main street. Be interested to hear what people have to say about that. At the end of the day, places like Phuket have got beautiful beaches, busy towns, particularly places like Patong. Also got plenty of nature on the island. once you sort of get over to the other side, to the east side. And they've got the history of Phuket town and all that lovely architecture. It's got a whole lot of different vibes that you can, if you're happy to drive through the traffic, get to from here to there and beyond. Hua Hin is a bit sort of more one-paced. You've really got that strip along the beach. You've got the one big, in some places quite nice beach. And then you've got the hinterland, which is very beautiful as well. And same could be said of Pattaya. It's a bit sort of one-paced until you sort of get back off those front roads. Anyway, we're talking about the old haunts. We're trying to discover the new ones. Let's go and see what Google is saying about these new locations. And part of the problem too is getting there. And it's easy to get to Pattaya. It's easy to get to Chiang Mai. It's easy, obviously, to get to Bangkok and Phuket. Hua Hin less so, because you have to sort of drive there or take the train. They have an airport there, but for some reason they don't seem to be able to convince the airlines to go and fly there. I think there, again, people in Hua Hin can tell me, but I think you can I think you can fly there from KL. But I'm not sure how many flights there are. Maybe there's a flight to Chiang Mai as well. I sort of read these from time to time. They sort of come and then they go. But would be interested to hear if you are in Hua Hin, if there are any regular flights at the moment. But some of these places off the beaten track are off the beaten track, and you have to work a little bit harder to find them. Have to get onto an interprovincial bus, or you have to hire a car. And in some cases, a lot of the people who live in these areas, including here in Thailand, are not that interested in becoming more popular because they don't have the infrastructure. And, the sort of people living here, or the people living here, both locals and foreigners, sort of like it the way it is. The old NIMBYs, not in my backyard. Yes, you can build your casino. Yes, you can build your shopping centre. Yes, you can have your bars, just not in my backyard. A few people I should thank very much for their getting behind the program, and I might talk about that later too. Daryl McGee, firstly, thank you very, very much. Daryl, every week, a hidden gem may depend, he says, on what a person is looking for, be it relaxing, partying, what one perceives as beautiful and scenic, etc. That's absolutely right. These hidden gems might be gems to some people. They might be boring as batshit to others. So I think what we're looking for generally are just new places to visit in Thailand, be they sort of quiet retreats or something a bit busier. Maybe it could be a new rooftop bar in the middle of Bangkok that no one's heard about, that you can still go up there and enjoy the views, but not necessarily with a whole lot of loud music and 3,000 people. So yeah, thanks Daryl, you're absolutely right. So yeah, new locations, hidden gems. I think a lot of you would be saying, I don't want to tell people about my favourite hidden gem. People might actually go there and it would ruin it. Fair point. Ryan Davies, thank you very much. Appreciate your support. Big thanks from South Wales in the UK. So, okay, have I been to South Wales? No, I haven't. However, I've been to New South Wales, which is a state in Australia, obviously named after South Wales. So thank you, Ryan, very much. Appreciate your support of the program and appreciate your generosity. So Pia King is reminding us about Loei. I visited there, and the governor spent half an hour explaining to me how to say it. It's right up there in the far northeast of Thailand, very beautiful part of the world, and just over the river from Laos. So you can travel from Loei to Laos quite easily. What did I visit in Loei? Yeah, sort of can't say it at all. I went to the Pittacorn Festival up there, where they have the ghost masks and huge phallic symbols. So that was fun. I think that was in Loei. Very enjoyable indeed. So thank you very much. What other hidden gems can we find today? Afternoon, Tim. It says G Rig. Hua Hin. I thought she was correcting my pronunciation, which is fine. Hua Tang Tao Reservoir. Hua Tang Tao Reservoir. People writing, of course, in English, Thai names, and the English versions of them are not necessarily a good representation of the pronunciation. So I'm wading through those without actually seeing the Thai script, which wouldn't help actually. It's just north of Chiang Mai. It's a pleasant lake the Thais enjoy going to on the weekends. Not many tourists would know about it. Thank you very much. It's a bit like this. This beach here is frequented by Thais from neighbouring towns and provinces who come here for, some of them camp for a night. So it's sort of a bit of a getaway from it all location. And I sort of got away from it all, but more permanently. So thank you very much. The average guy says hidden gem, Tam Khao Loang Cave in Phetchaburi. Catch the Royal Palace on top of Khao Wang in the middle of town. Avoid the monkeys. Now, I think I've been there. Again, I did a series of, I think there are 4 videos if you go to the channel, and it's called, I think it's called Trip from Bangkok or Bangkok to Phuket or something like that. But it was a road trip with the new Mercedes. Well, the new very old Mercedes. Bringing it back, and we dropped off in a few locations. And I think we went to the Tam Khao Loang Cave in Phetchaburi. Also went to a really nice beach resort there, and it's got the sort of the beach is scalloped, and I've flown over it many times. So I took the opportunity to actually drive and see what it looked like. And they've got these banks, that artificial banks built offshore to try and stop the beach erosion. And it's ended up with this sort of scalloped beach that goes down the coast for about 4 or 5 kilometres, I suppose. And that was a very nice beach resort that Thais sort of knew about. But the foreigners, I never heard a foreigner referring to it. And I cannot remember the name of the beach. But I think that is near the Tam Khao Loang Cave, which was very pretty. This is great. All these suggestions from everybody about places off the beaten track, hidden gems. Do I have hidden gems? I'll try and think of some during the program. I mean, I have been lucky to sort of go to a few different corners of Thailand. Probably not as much as I should. I think there are a lot of expats that come here and they sort of get into a groove and then they really don't go anywhere else. But we are in a magnificent country here that's rich in culture and beauty, things to see, beaches. I mean, I'm living on the longest stretch of beach in Thailand here, but it's not the most beautiful beach by far. It's just one long straight beach. But there are very, very beautiful beaches. Now, just south of here in Phuket, they've got 32 beaches. Most of them are very pretty indeed. Some of them obviously more popular than others. Excuse me while I just blow my nose. Oh, not as off camera as I should have been. Excuse me. The tissues here in Thailand, if you go to these little cafes, they basically use toilet paper. Not necessarily very good tissues. Anyway, I digress. FJ says Three Whale Rock in Buangkan. Buangkan. I'm going to check some of these out. Whale Rock. Three Whale Rock, named after the three whales. Buangkan. Let's see if we can find it. There we go. Look at that. Three Whale Rocks. Oh, I see. So it looks like whales. Ah, very nice. That's quite interesting, isn't it? And where is it? Let's just have a look. Yeah, it really is very pretty. And just going to the map here. Where are we? Okay, we're right up on the Thai border with Laos. And there's Buangkan. I should have recognised that. So we're right up there in the far northeast of Thailand, and right on the Laos border. That looks really magnificent. How do we go back here? Okay, there we go. So some of these are that definitely looks worth visiting. Thank you very much, FJ. Swede50, thank you very much for your kindness, your generosity. If you do send a super chat, I mean, obviously I'm very, very grateful, but please at least ask a question or provide something you'd like me to read out, because I'm very happy to do so. Swede50, thank you very, very much. In Australia, it seems. Not hidden, says Guzzy Jack, but the Royal Thai Air Force Museum in Bangkok is pretty cool. I haven't been to that, but I would enjoy going to that. Is it out at Don Mueang, where the Royal Thai Air Force have got a base? Anyway, the Royal Thai Air Force Museum in Bangkok. Jan Rui Krok, the northern part of Phetchaburi, a mountainous area with a famous white temple, many other attractions, known as Little Switzerland. Mountains in the mist when you wake up, own transport needed. Okay, so the northern part of Phetchabun. I said Phetchaburi. The northern part of Phetchabun. So there are just hundreds and hundreds of really cool places to visit. Fun Size Media, I think Vietnam may have more hidden gems, but not for long. Yeah, look, Vietnam has got some very beautiful places. I mean, the geography is not dissimilar. You go to Ha Long Bay and you think, oh, it doesn't look that different from Phang Nga Bay. So a lot of the geography is quite similar in parts of Vietnam. And it does have very nice places to go. I suppose it's just the ease of getting around Thailand just makes it a little bit more accessible than getting around Vietnam at the moment. I have on my sort of bucket list, which is a very, very long list these days, I always wanted to motorcycle from Hanoi down to Ho Chi Minh City, the old Saigon. But over the years, people said, oh, no, don't do that. No, too dangerous. So I've sort of not done it. Then I was going to get my old Mercedes and do the trip in the old Mercedes. But they drive on the other side of the road, and there were all sorts of paperwork that I was going to have to face to go and do it. So I've sort of backtracked off doing that. One day, on some form of transport, other than a plane, I would like to do that trip from Hanoi down to Ho Chi Minh City, or even in the other direction. Guy Seeger's Coca-Cola Beach in Rayong. I've got to check that one out. Coca-Cola Beach. I'm sort of figuring that's the local Coca-Cola Beach in Rayong or Ranong? Rayong. Rayong. Let's have a look. Coca-Cola Beach in Rayong. Open in Facebook. Oh, here we go. So this is Coca-Cola Beach in Rayong. What else have we got? We've got some photos. Somebody's surfing there. Let's go to some photos and see what the attraction is here. Looks like we've got fried food. Okay, so there you are. The Coca-Cola Beach in Rayong. And looks like somebody's condo. What else can I find here? Other photos? Well, it does look very nice. I don't know what the actual name is. Does the website tell us what the name is? Coca-Cola Beach Rayong. There you go. So looks like they're flogging real estate. But yeah, that looks like a very nice beach. I mean, there are hundreds of really nice beaches in Thailand. Some of them with different personalities. The one here, for example, as I said, is just a long, straight beach. And it gets very, very deep when you go for a swim very, very quickly. So it's not an ideal beach for families or kids. And during the wet season, we get the full Andaman Sea swell rolling in. But there are other beaches which are much more protected and have their own good and bad times of the year. Steve Jack says Wang Lung Market on the west side of the river in Bangkok. Rarely a PHANG is seen. An easy half day away from the tourist hordes. Wang Lung Market. Do we dare? Let's dare. Wang Lung Markets. I figure it's just a normal... I mean, there's lots and lots of markets. There's a market in like every town in Thailand. Is it a special market? Bangkok. Let's have a little look. Wang Lung Markets. Okay. So let's have a little look here. Okay. All right. Somebody walking through the Wang Lung Market. Let's go to another. Just looks like a really cool food market. Oh, they've got other stuff. There's some food. So, yes, looks like a really interesting market. Sort of a mini Chatterjack. What else have we got? We can buy some shoes. This lady's flogging more shoes. Okay, so there's the Wang Lung Market. We're all discovering this in real time. You can travel from Hanoi to Ho Chi Minh City by train, says the Queensland Tiger. I'd do it on train. I sort of would just like to do it by road though, so I can see something that I like and we can stop. I just sort of had in mind it was very adventurous to do it on a motorbike, which might sound like a good idea when you're in your 40s, but maybe not such a good idea when you're in your 60s. I mean, I got my scooter, the one out here, which is okay to sit on for about 10 minutes, but any more than that, So maybe the train is a good idea. Phil L says, good morning, Tim. I still need to explore much more of the hidden gems of Thailand. Unfortunately, the recent air quality problem have put me off for a while. May I say that if you head down to the south of Thailand, the further south you go, generally, the less of this burning air pollution problem. The burning smoke is not restricted to, but certainly concentrated in central, northeast and particularly northern Thailand. A lot of it blowing in from Cambodia, as we saw on the fire maps the other day. Cambodia, at the moment, is responsible for most of the regional smoke. And an astonishing number of fires in northern and western Cambodia, much more than in Thailand. So no matter what the Thai government do, and I think they've just imposed a ban on burning in the last week, whether that lands or not, I don't know. But it's trying to get control of the countries around Thailand. They've got their own problems with agriculture and burning. So Laos, Cambodia, Myanmar, principally, contributing a lot to Thailand's air pollution woes. So no matter what the Thai government does, they need to get some sort of engagement with those governments and get them to cooperate. I think everybody realises how hard that's going to be. Pierre King says the peninsula of Pattaya, great beach and great accommodation, great food and people too. So this is right down the very, very south of Thailand, like deep south Thailand. And Pattaya faces beaches on the Gulf of Thailand. Well, sort of just set yeah, still the Gulf of Thailand. So those beaches are Songkhla, Pattani, Naritawat, Nakhon Si Tamarat, I think. There are some really nice beaches all the way down there. So Playa Nakhon Cave in Prachop Kirikan, cool in the warm weather and has a sort of temple inside. I think I've been to that one too. So that's got the stairs going down into the temple, into the cave. I think that's the one. Playa Nakhon Cave in Prachop Kirikan. So take a note of these if you're going through the comment section, and maybe put them on your map for getting the mouth moving, for visiting. 808 Bear, hello Tim and chat. Glenn Shermer, the roads make a difference on how comfortable touring is. I live in Nan, where you never get tired of the roads and the mountain scenery. Thailand has generally got very good roads. I say generally, comparing to, well, even in Australia, we used to drive on some pretty bad roads, but mostly good roads. But here in Thailand, I think a lot of people are a little bit surprised by how good most of the roads are. Now, once you get into some of the off-the-beaten-track towns, the road quality is not as good in many places. But generally, like driving from the Bangkok to Phuket road is perfect all the way. But from Phuket up to Thailand is a double lane highway in both directions. Perfectly good, very drivable road. Maybe not quite as beautiful as up in Nan. This time of the year, it gets very, very dry, so all the hills get brown and everything dries off. It doesn't quite look as beautiful as it does during the wet season. Audra Rodriguez, we love Monsoon Valley Vineyard. 40 minutes from Hua Hin town, just beautiful. We took a trip south to Sichon and Canon Beach. Beautiful, clean beaches and hardly any tourists, definitely a hidden gem. So, yes, big tick to Canon Beach, big tick to Monsoon Valley Vineyard. I've been to both. I don't drink, so I didn't try the wine, but people say the wine isn't too bad. Now, I think when people think of good wines, they don't really have Thailand in the same sentence. But, yeah, apparently Monsoon Valley is just sort of in a bit of a lucky geographical area, and they're able to grow their own grapes and produce Thai wine. You would have thought if anybody was growing wine, it would be up in the north of the country, where you get some of that colder weather, which you associate with the weather you might need for a vineyard. But there you go. And Monsoon Valley's been around for many years and getting a bit of a reputation. Huge beer PHANG factory up road number 1, AH1 Klong Klong Kampang Pet, says Alpha Bravo. Huge beer PHANG factory. Chung, sorry. Anders Wallen, personally, I don't think the roads are that good. And they're built in a way that makes them unsafe, unfortunately. Well, Anders, you might need to tell me where you are referring to. I find, as I said, and I've driven around a lot of Thailand, I find the roads universally very good, but looks like Anders has run into some bad roads. A person with a Chinese and Korean name I can't read. I'd done the trip from Hanoi to Saigon on a motorcycle a few years ago. I'm about your age. It was a great experience. It took over a week. Yeah, I'm happy just to meander to, I don't know, 50k a day, 100k a day, and just see where I land. I'm still up for that sort of adventure. Yes, and there's obviously plenty of vlogs and plenty of people who have done that trip. Oh God, somebody's running into that poor old Tesla. Yeah, I still like to do it. It's a funny thing. I've got this daily news program, And it does sort of, anytime I think of going somewhere, I think, oh, I've got to do the program. Oh, I've got to drag this with me and that with me. I've got to find Wi-Fi and I've got to make the time to do the program. And it has sort of put me off from doing much travelling. So, got to think about all that. Ty Draper says, I love the Andaman Sea. Clear water, beautiful beaches. Getting too touristy, however. I still like to visit Cha Am. Still quaint and more relaxing. Cha Am is on the Gulf of Thailand side of this peninsula that we're on. The Andaman coast has got hundreds of beaches. You get down to Koh Lanta, or just north of here, up around Khao Lak and north of Khao Lak, there are some fabulous beaches that you're really probably not going to see a tourist all day. And then south of Khao Lak, as you go down further south down the Andaman coast all the way down to Malaysia, there's plenty of really good beaches. So I don't think you've looked that hard yet. Koh Lipe, it's Koh Lipe, Lipe, beautiful beaches. Some of them are starting to get a bit more touristy, but Koh Kradan was the first beach I ever visited in Thailand. It's off the coast of Trang, and I think I've told the story about me living in the bungalow with the snake. But Koh Kradan got named the best beach in the world last year by one of those quite well-known travel guides. And this high season has just been full of tourists. This is what happens. Something gets onto the tourist map, it gets promoted, it's named number one in the top 10 something or other, and then everybody moves there, and then the locals start complaining, and then I don't know, it's just an ongoing problem. Venice, for example, they've put a tourist tax. If you want to visit there, you've got to pay. So it's like a tourist attraction, you sort of pay to play. So I think more of these popular tourist locations around the world are going to start doing this. But I think a better solution is to go and find new hidden gems, new places to explore. Bangkok and down south, says Anders Wallen. Oh, okay, this is talking about bad roads. I don't think the roads inside the cities are that great. Highways have no railings usually. Often U-turns in the high-speed lane, which is an unsafe way to build. Okay, I get what you're saying. More of the road design than... Yes. Okay, I hear what you're saying. And, of course, south of Bangkok, they've got quite a lot of road construction on Rama 2. Been going on for decades, and it's still going. Okay. Helga Soderstrom says there's no hidden gems in Thailand anymore, thanks to all the YouTubers. Okay, well, it's probably not necessarily true. Look, even here in Thailand, we have seen more foreigners over this high season, but Phuket has been so busy. Such where I go to the airport recently, you can't even get a car park. There's nowhere to park motorcycles. So the staff looking for car parks are the place. Just Phuket is really busy. And we get a bit of a spillover up here because we're only 20 minutes north of Phuket. But I still suggest that you can go to beaches here along this long stretch of beach. You won't see a tourist all day. Come along and I'll show you. Hua Hin right now, waiting for Phuket hotel prices to come down. This is from Mr. Mike. I think I missed a whole lot of messages earlier on in the program, so I'll just go back a bit. I'm an island dude at heart, says Arnold Ziffel. Lived on Maui for many years, that's in Hawaii, and being near the beach is in my heart. I think that's sort of the way I feel too. I was born near a beach, in a beach town, Mornington, back in the Mornington Peninsula in Melbourne, and I spent a lot of my time on beaches and then took up sailing, bit of surfing, not in Mornington, but around the area. And I think I've spent the last 5 decades getting back to a beach. And here I am. I found a beach to live on, and I love living here. Heathrow says, I won't mention Burleigh today, thank you very much. Good morning from Pattaya, where the air quality is very poor. I have my air purifier on full blast. Air purifiers are quite cheap. You can buy them on Lazada or Temu or Shopee. They'll be delivered in 2 or 3 days, and they do a really good job. So if the air pollution is particularly bad and you're living there, well, it's an option to turn the air purifier on and be amazed when you clean it every day and think, wow, all that shit in the air. Hi, Captain. Captain's got a dog. Lieutenant says, hi, Tim and everyone. Some of the best hidden gems are in the northern mountains. Went to Pattaya recently, posted some videos. It was very interesting. I've actually gone to plenty of the northern mountain areas. I did a trek with a man who was starting... he's got a story. He's got an amazing story, but that's for another day. But he was starting a tour, like a guided tour. He was an American. And the guided tour was a week trekking through the mountains north of Chiang Mai. And part of the trip, we actually crossed over the Burmese border. But very beautiful, mountainous, certainly off the beaten track. So we were building our accommodation each night. We would stop in a location. We'd be cutting bamboo, making a bamboo platform and coverage. I mean, it took about 3 hours to build our accommodation each day. That was pretty off the beaten track. And I think over those 7 days, it rained for 6.5 days. And it didn't just rain, it poured. There's some photos of me covered in cuts and blood and bruises. And after I'd finished that trek, I mean, in retrospect, it was very interesting. And we were warned about walking across the Burmese border. I wouldn't do it now. But in those days, it seemed, he said, oh, it's okay, no problems. Look down the hill there, you can see that's one of the locations they're making drugs. So, yeah, we won't go down there. A question from John Armstrong. What is the penalty in Australia for not voting? Oh, that's a good question. John, I can't remember. I think it was about $20. What is the penalty in Australia for not voting? Failure to vote. State elections, voting state elections, if you do the state elections. The penalty for first-time offenders is $50 and do not provide a valid and sufficient reason. And this increases to $75 if you've previously paid a penalty or been convicted of the offence. There you go. So, yeah, it is compulsory to vote in Australia. So at least you do get a government which is representative of the people. In many countries, voting isn't compulsory, and so the government you end up with is not really representative of the population. That is a point of view, and that's not a particular comment about any particular country. It's just an observation. Graham says, comment, my Thai partner told me last night that the law was designed to stop political candidates putting on free food and alcohol to effectively buy votes. This is talking about the reason they've got a booze ban, an alcohol ban. What the hell's that? I don't know. In Thailand on these voting days. So that makes sense. What does happen, though, in the days before is some of the campaigners do go around with little envelopes with a few thousand baht. One of my Thai employees told me yesterday he was paid 2,000 baht to vote for a particular candidate. And he took the money. Why not? Okay, the more expats in the area, the higher the prices. This is an interesting observation. That in itself will move the PHANG to more traditional Thai areas, says Robin Hooper. Yeah, I mean, I think there are a lot of people that may have moved to some of these tourist magnets like Hua Hin, Chiang Mai, central Bangkok, Pattaya, Phuket. And over the last 10 or 20 years, they found the rental prices and the general cost of living has increased to such an extent they've had to move out and find somewhere a bit quieter. I think there would be a lot of people that fall into that category. So interesting observation. Well done. Okay. Also, my PHANG was beautiful and lesser known, halfway to Chiang Dao. So I think we're up in the north of Thailand here. Mae Tang, M-A-E-T-A-E-N-G, Mae Tang. Sichang Island is very close, easily accessible beach area, says Stephen Lance Stoll. Sichang Island. Koh Sichang, okay, Koh Sichang. Gulf of Thailand? You might have to tell us where it is. It says it's very close. Close to what? The average guy says, been a while since I caught a live. Great to see you again, Tim. My brother's over there at the moment in Ubon Ratchathani. Been to Ubon Ratchathani? Really only to the airport. Tim, C. King. Sean King was in Thai Muang. Did he ask you for an interview? No, I have no idea who Sean King is. I'm sorry. No idea. Maxiano Acosta. What is this I hear about Americans being able to own 100% of their own company in Thailand? When did this start? Can we own 100% or a house with land? Okay, so I think it's the Amnesty Treaty or something. You should probably go and ask somebody like Ben from Integrity Legal. He would know a lot more about this, but I think, yes, this has been around since forever. If you recall, the past king of Thailand, King Bhumibol Adulyadej, who died in, 2016? He was born in America. I think that might be the reason that the Americans have this particular privilege, but I think in some circumstances, not all circumstances, they are able to own 100% of a company. So, type in Amnesty Treaty Thailand or contact Ben at Integrity Legal. And hopefully he can give you some much better advice than I can. The Rama 7 Museum on the campus of the Open University in Chanthaburi is 100% a hidden gem. Thank you. One more. The Rama 7 Museum on the campus of the Open University. Swatting Club from Melbourne, says John D. Soy 6 in Pattaya. A hidden gem. Not so hidden. Maybe not so much of a gem. Lieutenant in Chiang Mai, the old historical centre, Wat Ket, has become a bit of a hidden gem now because tourists don't go there anymore. There's lots of old buildings, interesting antique shops. Ooh, I'd like to go there. In Chiang Mai, the old historical centre, Wat Ket. Okay, very interesting. Hobson's Choice. Crap Air is back, alas, after 4 good days. Who says alas anymore? Alas. Love going to Ubon Ratchathani, says Hobson's Choice. Quieter, more laid back, nice countryside, temples, good food. Khon Kaen too, I like. Yes, I've been to Khon Kaen. I think quite a popular place for expats these days as well. The road between Mae Sot and Mae Sai Rang along the Myanmar border in Tak and Mae Hong Son province. Beautiful villages, great shallow clear water river to swim. Yes, good enough to swim over to Myanmar, maybe even lay a electricity or telecommunications cable and connect it up to a scam city. So the road between Mae Sot and Mae Sarang along the Myanmar border. Now, I have had people recommend that particular road in the past. I know it's very, very beautiful up there, and yeah, I think that would be really worth doing. Yes, thank you very much for that. Colin, the barge garage doesn't actually come up first in Google Maps search. Its proper name, of course, is the Royal Barges National Museum. Yes, if you type in barge garage, it probably won't find it on the map. The Royal Barges National Museum, which is on the other side of the Chao Phraya River from most of Bangkok. Afternoon, Tim. Done that one? Okay, this is really good. Some people come up with some great ideas. Let's just go down a bit further. I don't want to miss that. Anders Wallen, thank you very much for your support. Thank you very, very much. It says, for a gem, the Thais discovered is the place I live, Chanthaburi. Soon durian season, great fruits, has a beach, many cafes. Chanthaburi. Now, I do know this place. I haven't been there recently, but let's find out exactly where it is so that you all know. Chanthaburi. Of course, you can use Google too. Yes. Let's see what we've got. Chanthaburi does look very charming. Yes, if it's like that, I'd certainly like to go and have a visit. And let's just see where it is. Open up in Maps. Yes, open up Google Maps. And Chanthaburi. Okay, I think I know where this is. Let's go to... no, I don't want that. Oh, God, now it's all getting... Okay. Somebody's... Oh, it's very beautiful indeed, isn't it? Now, how do I just zoom out here? Chanthaburi. So, okay, it's sort of south of Rayong and Pattaya. So it's around about a 3-hour drive from Bangkok. Chanthaburi looks very charming indeed. Thank you very much for that suggestion. You see, there are so many really great little corners of Thailand to see. But you need to pull your finger out, get in your car, and go. Just take a credit card or your phone and some cash. See where you land. You can log on to Airbnb, find places to stay all around Thailand, or booking.com or hotels.com or whatever your favourite hotel finder is. Airbnb sometimes finds you something a little bit more interesting. Sometimes you end up staying in or next to somebody's house, and that can sometimes be interesting because they can point out the places that you should be going to visit. Okay, so just scrolling down, we'll do a few more. John Swift asks a pertinent question. Why is a beach so important? Never said it is. I have a friend who goes to Thailand, never seen a beach. Some couldn't name more than one. Well, you're probably right. But one of the things people come to Thailand for are the beaches. And certainly if they come down south, they are usually seeking a beach destination because there's a lot of them. But there is plenty more Thailand to see that is not on the beaches, so a fair point. Dam 1 has a comment. Ao Prao in Koh Samet is my hidden gem, highly recommended. Do I dare have a look? Let's just go back here, and it is... here we are, Ao Prao, P-H-R-A-O, in Koh Samet. Oh, here we go. So it does look quite nice indeed. Looks very remote. So this is on Koh Samet, but it looks like quite an isolated beach. There's the Ao Prao Resort there. Not a big beach, but just a nice, quiet little beach on that island. And that's the island of Koh Samet. We can see on the other side of the island looks to be quite busy, and looks like where all the ferries are dropping off. And this is off the coast of Rayong, I think. Yeah, off the coast of Rayong. And this is the Ao Prao Resort in Koh Samet. So very good recommendation there. Thank you very much, Dam One. Don't get in car, take a bus. Well, I'd rather take a car personally. I've done plenty of interprovincial bus rides, but personally I prefer just going in my own time, in my own car, going to the places I want to go. But yes, there are plenty of buses that go to lots of locations in Thailand. 808 Bear says, I'm a Monga who is only because of the state of Western women. I would love to help out a local family and be part of the community. Great, there you go. I'm not drunk, says Chanthaburi is nice, one of the few places in Thailand to go do some good paddle boarding in the Park Nam. I used to live in Chanthaburi, very quiet, says Ben Leno. It looks like a very charming little spot. Okay, so we'll do just two more and then we'll pack up. 808 Bears just sort of chatting away there. Okay, personally the roads are that good. Okay, I've had nothing very new there. So interesting comments, everybody. Hi Tim, love your shirt today. Can't wait to go back to Thailand, says Gary Cross. Hua Hin Soapy Palace is a good place. Sounds like the name of a place you might get a massage. Okay. Don't go to Sochon Kanom. You would not like it. Really, it's a terrible place. So Kanza sounds like he's recommending sarcastically. Sichon Kanom. You would not like it, he says. And this is the problem, isn't it? Mentioning new places to visit, hidden gems. And of course, people are going to go there. And the more people that go there, the more they're going to resemble some of the other tourist locations. But there is plenty of Thailand for people to see. And I would say that 99% of people that visit Thailand go to one of the big 5 or 6 tourist magnets and maybe just never get to visit some of the real Thailand that hasn't become too touristy. I mean, if you go to a tourist location, you are going to pay more for your accommodation. You're probably going to find a larger range of accommodation, and some of it will be of better quality. But you're sort of going to end up visiting the West in Thailand. It's going to be manicured to suit Westerners and to suit tourists. And that's probably not the real Thailand. Oh, you'll have a great time, but until you get out of Pattaya, until you get out of central Bangkok, until you get out of Phuket, Hua Hin, and Chiang Mai, you're not really visiting Thailand. You're just dropping off in a location, staying in some nice hotels, and eating Thai food that probably has been a bit tampered down to cater for tourists. And with that, I thank you very much for dropping in today. Been a bit sort of laid back. Plenty of news happening. Every day I wake up and I sort of open up the news feeds with trepidation. Just so much news at the moment around the world. And it is, I think, causing quite a lot of stress for people. But I found my place to de-stress whilst at the same time being very busy. Thanks for watching today. We will have tomorrow off, and then we're back on Monday with our regular program for the week. We do it, comes out about 10 o'clock each day. It's called TNT, Tim Newton Today, and we spend about 10 minutes going through the main news stories. Thank you very much to 5 Star Marine. Get a mention in for them at the very end of the program. And yeah, all your suggestions are good. I'll try and make sure I save the comment feed in the video, because there are so many really good suggestions today. And thank you all very much for contributing to the list. Bill Ellis has come up with his hidden gem. The front The front stop, the front step, I think you mean, mean to say, the front step of any 7-Eleven with a beer in hand. Why not mention my Sunnyside comment? Ha ha. I'm sorry, 808 Bear. I can't read all the comments. I didn't even see your Sunnyside comment, so I mentioned the fact that I didn't mention it. Okay, right. Thank you all very much. Have a great Saturday, and we do look forward to seeing you next time you pass by. Take it easy.